For thousands of years, the legend of Atlantis has fascinated, confused, and inspired people around the world. Some believe it was a utopia destroyed by its own pride. Others say it never existed, just a myth woven by Plato. But what if there's more to it? What if behind the ancient story lies a forgotten truth? A real place lost to time, buried under earth and ocean, waiting to be rediscovered. The only ancient source we have for the story of Atlantis is the Greek philosopher Plato, writing in the dialogues Timaeus and Critias. He spoke of a mighty island nation, Atlantis, a civilization with incredible engineering, wealth, and naval power. According to Plato, Atlantis ruled over parts of Europe and Africa and once attempted to conquer ancient Athens. But then, in a single night and day, the entire civilization vanished beneath the sea. It sounds like legend, but is it? Plato claimed he didn't invent the story. He said it was passed down from Egyptian priests to the Greek lawmaker Solon, a real historical figure. From Solon, the tale was passed on to Plato's family. This was not, he said, a parable, but history. Still, many scholars have dismissed it. After all, no other ancient text mentions Atlantis. But Plato was real. Solon was real. And so were the Egyptians who supposedly passed down the story. And that's where things start to get interesting. In the 1800s, a German archaeologist named Heinrich Schliemann set out to prove that another ancient story, Homer's tale of Troy, was not fiction. Using the landmarks described in the Iliad, Schliemann found the ruins of Troy. For centuries, it was thought to be myth, but he proved it was real. If Troy was once considered fiction and then found, why not Atlantis? Many have tried to follow Plato's clues. He described Atlantis as having a central island city, made up of concentric circles of land and sea. It had bridges, canals, and a passage to the Atlantic Ocean. It had elephants, red, white, and black stones, mountains to the north, a rich plain to the south, and springs of fresh and salt water. Its people were miners, metal workers, sailors, and warriors. It was said to be larger than Libya and Asia combined before it disappeared. Some researchers have pointed to the island of Santorini in Greece, where the Minoan civilization once flourished. The Minoans were technologically advanced, had multi-story buildings, plumbing, air systems, and a naval fleet. A massive volcanic eruption destroyed their civilization. It fits some of Plato's descriptions, but not all. Santorini is not beyond the Pillars of Hercules, what we call the Strait of Gibraltar. Plato clearly said Atlantis lay beyond them in the Atlantic Ocean. Santorini is also far too small, and it didn't sink beneath the sea. It was buried in ash. Others look to places even farther away: Cuba, India, Japan, Bolivia, and the Amazon jungle. Underwater ruins have been discovered in each of these regions. Cities beneath the sea, some submerged for over 10,000 years. Structures in Japan's Yonaguni, temple remains in India's Gulf of Cambay, and sunken cities off Cuba's coast. They all suggest there were once civilizations advanced enough to build on a massive scale. But if these places were not Atlantis, they still tell us one thing. There is a huge gap in our understanding of ancient history. We have barely scratched the surface of what came before. One location, however, stands out more than any other. In the western Sahara Desert, in present-day Mauritania, there's a massive geological feature known as the Richat Structure, or more mysteriously, the Eye of the Sahara. From above, it resembles the very structure Plato described, concentric circles of land and water. It's large enough to match the dimensions Plato gave. The landscape includes mountains to the north, a flat plain to the south, and traces of ancient springs. In 2008, researchers began exploring this site seriously. They found more than just shapes. There were signs of ancient riverbeds, fossils of elephants, and layers of salt and sediment, indicating the area was once underwater. Could the Richat Structure be Atlantis? There are problems. The site doesn't perfectly align north-south as Plato described. It isn't underwater, at least not now. And no megalithic ruins have been found, no temples, no roads, no walls. But there's a catch. 12,800 years ago, Earth was struck by fragments of a comet, an event now known as the Younger Dryas Impact. It triggered global fires, floods, extinctions, and a rapid return to Ice Age conditions. North America's Clovis culture was wiped out. 70% of large animals vanished. Sea levels rose. Entire coastlines disappeared. If a civilization like Atlantis existed near the ocean, it could have been destroyed completely. Buried in mud, swept into the sea, its ruins lost or shattered. Maybe that's why we haven't found Atlantis yet. Or maybe we found it and just don't recognize it. Even if the Richat Structure isn't Atlantis, it shows how Earth's landscapes have changed dramatically. The Sahara was once green, sea levels were lower, coastlines different, and today's deserts may hide yesterday's cities. But here's the bigger question: why does it matter? Plato didn't just write about Atlantis as a military power, he used it to introduce deeper ideas that shaped all of Western philosophy. He spoke of human origins, the cosmos, and consciousness itself. He believed we are spiritual beings, living in a material world to learn love, wisdom, and harmony. He said that ancient civilizations had knowledge we've forgotten, that the earth goes through cycles of growth and destruction, that intelligent beings from beyond may have helped shape our evolution. Was Plato weaving fiction? Or was he using fiction to share hidden truths? Some scholars believe Atlantis was a blend, a symbolic tale built on real memories, passed down through centuries across cultures. Plato may have layered his philosophy over a true story, creating a myth that teaches, warns, and inspires. In Spain, archaeologists found a strange monument in Cancho Roano, 200 kilometers inland. It resembles a miniature city with circular walls and symbols linked to ancient Egypt and metallurgy. Was this a memorial to a lost world? A cultural echo of Atlantis? Beneath the Donana wetlands nearby, satellite scans revealed circular structures and a methane layer, possible evidence of a sudden, massive flood. But exploration is difficult. The truth may still lie buried beneath mud and time. In 2005, researchers gathered to define what it would take to prove Atlantis was real. They listed 24 criteria based on Plato's descriptions. No known site fits them all, but several come close, and so the search continues. Why do people still care? Because Atlantis represents more than a lost city. It's a symbol of forgotten wisdom, of a time when humanity may have known more, reached farther, and lived differently. It challenges the official timeline. It questions the story we're told about progress and civilization. And it dares us to look deeper into the earth, into history, into ourselves. If Atlantis was real, then what else might be true? Maybe Plato's vision of a conscious universe. Maybe his teachings about life beyond death. Maybe his belief that fear, especially fear of death, holds us back from joy, from truth, from growth. Whether or not we ever find the ruins of Atlantis, the real discovery may lie in asking the questions it raises. Are we ready to remember? Are we ready to imagine a different origin and a different destiny? Atlantis may be lost, but the mystery it left behind, that is eternal.